What's happening, everybody? We welcome you back to another episode of San Diego Prep Insider. The theme this week is jerseys. I got a 1998 Andy Ashby, which...
Not going to find too many of those up.
No, this one's a custom job.
That's the one of one.
It is a... Well,
I hope Andy has one.
Okay, so open question. I don't know if he has social media. We'll try and tag somebody there. Andy, do you even have one of these? If not, let's do a little trade. The hat obviously is not a Padres hat. Obviously, it also does not fit my head.
6 3/4.
Yeah, no, this is 7 1/8.
You and Bruce Bochy have the same head,
if it
dude.
looks
over
like
here.
that on
Jesus. We'll see how Bodie fits into this. But look, hey, San Pasquale had a big win also this week, so this is one of many hats that I will wear today. Over on the other side of the studio, as always, we are joined by, on the left is Bodie DeSilva from Scorebook Live. You can check them out at their website, which keeps changing, but will change back to highschool.si.com. You can also just, for convenience sake, download the SBLive Sports app. Bodie, today we got, a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Blue Jays jersey.
In the light blue, yeah.
And a light blue MLB The Show hat, which... I'm going to be real. Bodie might have that get stolen from him right now.
So hard.
And then on our right, we got Dave Ring at DR Player Development wearing a Kobe's special Joe Musgrove jersey.
Had to bring the Musgrove jersey back out after he finally threw a gem.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Yeah, I'm allowed to wear his jersey again.
Well, no, I was going to say that's about the appropriate amount of fandom that some people deserve. Is we love you when you're good, and
there you go.
That we hate you when you're bad. But we're not going to wear
Just be good.
Just be good. Just be good. Like San Pasquale. Just be good. Today on the show, we will talk, as always, about high school baseball and softball. We got another attempt at the top 10. I'm getting less and less interested in doing the people voting top 10 as we close in on the computer-decided playoffs. I think I would care more about the people voted top 10 if there was a people influence into the playoffs, but... we're not at that point.
Yeah, I think it's just to compare, are there Division II teams that are up there?
Yes,
what are they
always
like?
It's always a fun discussion, but up until you realize, and maybe this isn't happening a ton this year, but it happens a lot in football and basketball where you'll be like, in the top 10, 7 through 10 will sometimes have D's, 2, 3, and 4 teams, and then you get to those open division playoffs, and you're like, wait, didn't we spend all season talking about Bishops? Why are they the ones?
Yeah, that's the fun part about this is me and Bodie never, we never compare notes. We always basically just, like you said, opinion, how the teams are playing. So,
Dave, I think that it's pretty apparent to anybody that watches this show more than 2 or 3 times that none of us compare anything to each other.
I think that's the fun part about it. I'm peek over at his notes.
Yeah. Oh, can I also just, this is a complete side note, but can I just say fun part about all of this and not paying attention to our show? Last week's episode, the title of the episode was literally Zane Nordquist is on a path for history. I was talking to my mom. God bless you, Mom. I love you. But this was like Saturday. So podcast had been out for a couple days type thing. And she was saying, did you see, I was watching on KUSI, this pitcher from El Camino is really having a great, he's like, did some sort of like back-to-back no-hitters or anything. And I'm just like, yep, there you go. I haven't made it yet. I still have not made it.
Did you see he threw another game after that? Another gem? Did you see that?
It was not a third straight no-hitter.
You're talking about how Zane Nordquist let us all down.
But most importantly, they won at Saints.
Yeah, they beat Saints 4-3
for them in a non-league Monday
But
game,
he pitched another absolute gem. I mean, guy is an absolute dog.
He is also Will Sanford, as we are going to discuss a lot in this podcast. He is probably giving Jack Haferkamp run for his money now at best player in San Diego, just in terms of like
Brennan Lewis. When you look at those numbers too, that's another one.
We've already agreed
year.
that Brennan Lewis is just the best overall athlete in San Diego, probably best person in San Diego.
Look, Haferkamp has 24 stolen bases right now.
Wow,
that's impressive.
That's
just athletic.
Let's put that on the poll. Did you know that Jack Haferkamp got them wheels? And are we also saying, Dave, are you breaking us exclusive news that Santa Fe Christian missed out on Jack Haferkamp as a running back?
Dude, he looks like a tight end that runs like a sub 760. It's insane. He's huge too. So yeah, he's he could be the Gronkowski of,
There's
There
about
you go.
10
of the
positions
Santa Fe
you could put
Christian
him on.
team.
There you go, Jack.
For sure.
If baseball doesn't work out, you can be the next Rob Gronkowski. So let's get the top 10 out of the way. We'll start with Bodie DeSilva. As always, you can check all of this out at SBLive Sports, their app, their website, all that goodness. Make sure you download it. Bodie, take it away.
Yeah, there wasn't a ton of movement, which has been kind of a rarity so far this year. I kept Cathedral Catholic at number 1. They did lose yesterday to Point Loma. Rancho Bernardo at number 2. They also have a loss this week. Saints at number 3. They have a loss this week. So then you go to Torrey Pines at number 4. They're going to finish their series against Rancho Bernardo. Patrick Henry there at number 5. They haven't hit a ton, but man, I can't quit all that pitching they have there. Granite Hills there at number 6, East Lake at 7, Carlsbad 8, Point Loma 9 continues to rise up, and Santa Fe Christian in there at 10. They are just rolling through the Coastal League. I think they can clinch it here any day now.
Santa Fe Christian, whenever they're on a roll, you got to make the joke that it's the Crusades again. It's just a holy war that they have unleashed upon people. Dave, your take on the top 10 this week?
No wonder ours aren't the same. It was like everyone lost.
Yeah.
But we agree on the middle of the pack. That's
Yep, there
fun.
you go.
Okay, so I got Saints at number 1 still. They're 20-5. Torrey is bound. Yeah, I'm putting them up at number 2. They're 18-7. RB number 3 now. 17-6. What a stacked team. Cathedral drops to number 4 after that loss. Patrick Henry, Granite Hills, Eastlake now at 18-5. I think they'll be in the top 5 before I know it here. Point Loma, I'm moving them up. They've just got too much dog in them this year. They know how to pitch and play
Literally.
defense, man.
Yeah,
and
too
it's
much
like
pointer in them.
it's unreal, man. Carlsbad still in the top 10 at number 9, and Santa Fe Christian is 19-4 at this point. I mean, their coach should be up for the coach of the year with the way they're playing at this point. It's pretty impressive. Bonita Vista and Poway now are my two notables. Last thing.
Yeah, Poway, that's one that they are on a roll right now.
Right, so they're 16-9 now. We haven't mentioned them a ton this year, but I want to give them some love. Poway 16-9 now. They're poised to make it in the top 10 if they keep rolling here.
You also mentioned another milestone in there. We got to backtrack a little bit. Saints' coach.
Yes, Craig DeLuz.
Craig DeLuz, congratulations.
300th win. So, yeah, crazy that all these have happened in such a short time period.
Game ball for every coach in the county this year, practically.
Well, so, I mean, the mathematical improbability that we would have this many coaches hit this many milestones is just weird this year.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, but once it is all said and done and the year is over, because there's bound to be one or two more coaches at this point hitting milestones this year.
There's one particular I can think of.
Oh, hit me with it. Who's next?
Coach Machado at La Costa Canyon, I believe, is, I don't have the exact number, but a couple away from 600.
Whoa, we officially have had
only coach in school history.
So we try to say, hey, congratulations, Saints coach for 300. Machado's going for 600. Okay, so look,
man, that list of
we're all getting there.
The coaches this year is impressive.
Well, so what I was going to say is, Bodie, let's wait till the season is over and then let's total it up.
Yeah.
To see how many coaches, how many wins. Not because obviously not all of those wins.
Like where's Gallegos at?
But that we could collectively be talking about like 5,000 wins potentially, I think, out of all these coaches. Like,
exactly.
Which is just
what
insane.
we'd like to see here, if you're a player and you see the consistency in the program too. I mean, this is one of the things that you like when you go to high school. You know you're going to get. You've got a coach that's, been there for years, got the program rolling, and I mean that can't give a player more confidence on what they're going to get.
Can I also say that to me it's amazing. Having now for the last couple of years been married to a high school coach who has gone from head coaching to assistant coaching, the fact that some of these guys have just been able in life to be there and available for that long is crazy to me.
That's a really cool thing, for sure.
None of these guys are making bank doing this.
Yeah, this isn't
some of these guys,
professional mid-six-figure job. Yeah.
Some of these guys, I was going to say, don't even work at said school, because it can correlate that, like, okay, find me one. Coach Mitchell. He works at Christian, I think, as a teacher.
James Davis at Granite Hills.
James Davis works at Granite. Like
Machado at La Costa.
You can make some sense out of it to be like, okay, this is an extra stipend on top of his job for him to do what he loves. But some of these coaches, they work a 9 to 5 as whatever it is, doing their other thing, and then they show up for 10, 12, 15, whatever it is, years consistently as that head coach. And that is a thing that you all deserve an absolute salute for. Speaking of salutes, let's salute this week's dingers, and then let's do game balls.
Well, the race has officially come to a halting here. We are stuck at pitching. 8, folks. The leader in the county, still Levi Ham, but Jack Circuit has 8 now. He's over at La Jolla Country Day. So they're tied for the lead in the county. Jack Hafferkamp is now up to 6. Alex Harrington has 6. JJ Moran at San Marcos has 6. And then we have a lot of guys we've mentioned at 5. We got Tyler Arnold at RB, just an absolute dude at the plate. Do not throw that guy a fastball anywhere near the zone. You'll demolish it. And, you know, the La Jolla Country Day, was it the Tories?
Tories.
I mean, they're hitting them too. Jackson Norum, he's also got 4. And then, let's see here. Who else do I want to shout out? How about Grayson Wren at San Marcos, who's got 3. And then I'll give some love to the people at the bottom of the list here who we don't normally mention, but they've got 2 bombs. Sean Psyche.
Sean Psyche, catcher for Sage Creek.
Sage Creek got 2 bombs. Brandon.
Oddly enough, let me just tell you, Psyche, his dad and my dad went to high school together up in Los Angeles.
Fun.
There you go.
Weird.
Really weird. Brandon Hermosillo, second baseman for Grossmont's got 2. Zach Pedersen over at Sage Creek also has 2. And then I'll list a couple guys. Alan Sandoval, San Diego, has 2 bombs. Austin Baker, Fallbrook has 2. Ryan Ham at Scripps Ranch has 2. Like I said, once we see a little bit more shakeup, I think we're going to see a lot of the guys at the bottom of the list start taking over. You know, the Hafferkamps, he's going to get up into the 8, and then, you know, probably hit 10 by the end of the season here.
Well, and also, you're talking on that list, not all those guys are seniors. Some of those guys are seniors,
exactly,
but not all those guys. So we're previewing things to come with just with getting there. And I'll say, if you hit 1, that's a lot more home runs than 2 of us in this room have hit at the high school level. One of us, no. As
Dingers
you saw
are fun.
Generalissimo ring last week with all of his bars and stripes. Hey, the Point Loma Minister
it's
of
like
Propaganda.
Perfect timing. You come in at the same time every single show.
Yeah, she goes back to get a little water, a little hydration. Comes in to say, hey, have we talked about Will Sanford yet?
I'm laid down.
Oh, she goes for Bodie this week. Okay, very nice. Okay, perfect. Thank you, intern. Bodie, you want to do game balls?
Yeah, I will start with some softball. Annalise Garcia from Mater Dei Catholic, double, and her 4th home run of the season in their win over Christian. Abby Hune from Mission Hills struck out 8 and did not allow an earned run in their win over rival San Marcos. Alexa Truitt from Ramona, complete game shutout, 8 strikeouts against Fallbrook. And Sophia Mujica, what can you say? Home runs now in 6 of her past 7, 56 career home runs. Just crazy.
Can we take a quick detour on the Sophia Mujica thing? Am I reading this correctly that she already has the section record, but that 60 in a career is the state record?
I am unaware of the state record, but that sounds like it would probably be.
Do you have the ability while Dave does his game balls to look that up on
get
Cal
on
High? Because if I read that correctly, I read this online a day or 2 ago that 60 is the all-time state record. So she's already crushed the San Diego section record. She now has the opportunity
in 3 years,
to become the all-time greatest power hitter in the history of the state. Was that was just your softball game balls? You have baseball game balls?
Yeah, a couple baseball ones here. Peyton Rogers struck out 12 in 7 shutout innings in their win over La Costa Canyon. We mentioned Zane Nordquist, what he's done. That second no-hitter, he struck out 15 in their win over Escondido, and then most importantly got their win against Saints this week. That's a huge non-league win. Will boost them up. Noah Tenbrook from Cathedral Catholic, single, double, triple, drove in 4 runs in their win against Madison. That's it from the boys' side, and I will get on my research.
Yeah, no, I can confirm that the CIF state record is 60.
For softball?
For softball.
Wow.
I'm scrolling.
And she's only hitting .438 on the year.
438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 438 on the year. 4
Yes, 60.
16 walks, 3 strikeouts. I think that'll work.
It just keeps getting more and more historic. Dave, you got game balls?
You know what? I just got a text from a parent. It was funny.
What does Tyler Arnold's dad want?
Can you give a shout out to such and such player?
Does such and such player deserve a shout out?
But yes, but he's an incredible teammate, team captain, and human. And like, I already shouted him out.
Oh, so somebody has to reverse engineer whose mom just texted you?
How cool was that? I already did it. Thanks for the text, though. I love when people text, and the first thing in this text says was, love your show, and the props and the visibility that you're given to the local talent.
Maybe there's a live stream going on right now. We don't even know about it.
Such a cool, I mean, I really enjoy this podcast, and we got to give love to Christian on all the hard work that he does for the locals. Man, this is one of the things that
hard work.
Yeah, he'll be humble all day.
I'll say this. The only difficult part about this job has become dealing with jackasses in Instagram and DMs and comment sections. Like, you want to get
this platform is not easy to create, and you've done an amazing job of getting this to where you've gotten it to.
And just to the most recent set of ones of people being like, "Oh, the video quality on this is super low. The video quality, like, this is off. Like, film better." If you look at the daily posts, do you truthfully think two things? One, that I am capable of going from track at Monte Vista to baseball at Sage Creek and hit 4 games on the way. It's just physically not possible. Also, if it was me filming all of these, why would the video quality be erratic and changing?
It's a good question.
It makes no sense. I'm sorry that not all schools have HD cameras filming all this stuff, but I'm not going to not give some of these teams shout outs. So, man, but crazy. I appreciate that, Dave. Back to you.
Game balls. Let's go. I mean, let's talk about that Point Loma win against Cathedral. 1-0. Will Sanford, 5 innings, 3 hits. Did you say that in your game balls? Because I was like,
I didn't know.
I was spacing. So, I mean, 11 chairs for Will Sanford. Cathedral's a tough team to beat, man. And
navigating that lineup,
getting through that whole lineup,
and unfortunately with walks and strikeouts, the pitch count will get up there, so he couldn't finish off the deal. But shout out to the bullpen guys that came in and held on when you're given 1 run.
And I don't really know. I'm not a high school coach, and I don't know how setting up matchups and all that stuff does. But what I heard was that it was a lefty-heavy lineup against the righty Sanford. And in my opinion, if you've got a righty that can hit in high school, you don't take him out of the lineup just because there's a righty on the mound. And I don't know what it didn't work that day, obviously. Yeah. So, Rem's got a lot of wins, but just to play devil's advocate, if I'm the guy that's putting in the lineup, I don't know if I'm playing as many matchups, but he's got such a roster to kind of pick from different guys, and different players play different positions. So it's kind of an interesting beast over there.
Yeah, it seems like you're always going to have committed players coming off the bench that day.
Right, so you do get to pick and choose and play matchups more. But I do think it's interesting that I don't feel like that works as much in high school, in my opinion. It works more at the next level, but maybe it does. Drew Frost, he's one of the guys on Point Loma that's their spark. He's got a .507 on-base percentage. He had 2 stolen bases in that game. And Brandon Keeling, he's a junior infielder. He's also got a .323 average. Those are the 2 guys that are leading the offense for the Pointers. Jordan Mansfield at Granite Hills, he's a senior, .421 average, slugging .891. So when he's got a chance, he's got doubles, he's got home runs. Rafi Dunn over at Saints, man, this guy's done nothing but hit ever since he's come off of
the sit out.
He's a big spark plug for them, and a big reason why they've gone to that 20-5 record there. And he committed to UCSD in the offseason. So that's one of the guys that we'll want to follow at the next level and kind of see what happens. Come sit.
Kingsley, lay your little dog butt down.
And to be honest, Rafi's got one of the the most lightning bat speed of all hitters that I've seen in person in all of San Diego. So I know I've said that a couple times, but he's really impressive to watch. Jacob May over at Eastlake, 421 batting average. He's got 32 hits on the season. If you're a stat rat like me, and you look at how many guys have 30-plus hits in San Diego, there is not many. And so that's a feat in itself in the division that they're playing in. Charlie Morse over at Maranatha, he's hitting 410. He's got 34 hits. I'll tell you a story about Charlie. He was on JV at Cathedral last year, wasn't even on varsity, transferred schools, now is a starting center fielder. And, I mean, that's one of the top numbers in San Diego for hits. So congrats to you, man, on a fantastic year. Finish strong here. Luke Nieblas at San Pasqual. Christian wore 7 hats during the podcast. We saw it, I think, earlier in the day.
For which one? Which hat?
The San Pasqual. Was that the first one?
This one actually fits. So this is why I brought it back up, because I made the mistake of the other one. This one stays out on the studio because I have a couple of black hats already, so I figure this one pops a little bit more. And also, all of these courtesy of Andrew Clark, who absolute show favorite. Kirkland brand Tony Romo. If you just look at his celebrity doppelgangers. But yes, had to bring this one out because this one actually fits.
All right, I got the last 2 here. This guy might be the leader in hits in the county. I'm not sure. I'll have to scour the rest of the stats. But Luke Nieblas at San Pasqual, 40 hits with 20 RBIs and a 465 batting average. Fantastic.
Tell me I'm wrong on that. Is that not him?
That's true. It's very true.
It's meant entirely as a compliment, but yes, like
Costco spokesperson there, right? I mean, yeah, get a Kirkland jacket.
No, I'm saying that he just could be Tony Romo's like discount doppelganger. Like you could hire him for Tony Romo appearances from far away.
There you go, and he could do all the Kirkland ads for him. All right, Thomas Maher. I got to give some love to the guys at Torrey. We haven't mentioned a ton about them. There's nothing flashy about them this year. They just got 3 pitchers with a 1 ERA.
Yeah, there's nothing flashy. They just have 3 of the best pitchers in San Diego.
Jack Swamberg is I think it's a 1.12 ERA. And Bodie, you'll have to look at the other 2 guys.
Between Brendan Miller, he'll pitch today against
Rogers.
Peyton Rogers and Brendan Miller. Those are the 2 seniors, and then Swanberg's the 3rd guy. So
right, that's
between
impressive.
those 3, and then they've got relievers. They've used Jude Atley, a college commit. He's going to go to San Francisco State, and they've also got Jace Barajas. So pitching, and they've got a qualified pitching coach and former major leaguer Kirk McCaskill. So.
Yeah, Reese Dixon, first baseman for Torrey, hitting 359, and Aiden Stroot and Jace Barajas each have a dinger. Those are their leaders on offense, along with Chase Klemke.
Yep.
San Diego State commit.
I did not know Kirk was back there.
Same staff they won open with, just switch pitching coach to manager and manager to pitching coach.
Everyone just musical chairs, rotate positions. Boom. Was that the Kevin Sim game?
The Mac Bingham.
Game.
Extra innings against Poway. What a great game.
Yes. Okay, so that
Mac
is all
Bingham's
the game balls,
still hitting bombs in the SEC.
Seriously.
Mac Bingham.
He's at LSU now, right? Yeah.
That's an all-time throwback right there. That and Wayne McKinney. Congrats, Wayne. But now I'm just doing a show for myself. That was all of game balls from both you guys, yes?
That was it.
Okay, so Dave, you bring up something really interesting that I kind of hadn't thought about because we talk so much about top-tier pitching and elite starters and how good everybody's doing, but then you bring up the bullpens. Is that going to be the deciding factor in playoff? Because we are one this remainder of a week that we have. Yeah. One more full week of regular season. 10
these
days.
games are huge coming up here.
Well,
these are going to decide. These last series are going to decide a lot.
Yeah, I think the thing I'm looking at is this Torrey Pines Rancho Bernardo series this week. Torrey got the first one. They walked off at home. They're at Rancho Bernardo. Then they'll come back to Torrey Saturday. The winner of this series will have that 2 out of 3, possibly a sweep if Torrey were to win it, that head-to-head. The winner of this series, to me, is the 1 seed in the Open Division. It's just the way it's looked. Those Western League teams, Cathedral, Henry, and Saints are battling at 3, 4, and 5, and then beyond that. But I would just say get in. I mean, the 8 seed's going to be a great team.
With as
who.
deep as the starters are going.
But no, I'm just saying
pitching, I think, because with the pitch count, we have a lot of pitchers that are at high strikeout numbers, which probably comes with high walk totals. That 6th inning, you're getting over 100 pitches. Totally. You need a guy to finish 4 outs, maybe the last inning. Do you have a guy that can come in, face half the lineup, and you trust to get out?
You're 100% going to need the bullpen, but you can see how well some of these dudes are going deep into the game, and so they're saving arms. That's huge, and so you could use a starter for an inning, right? Yeah. For 1 inning. Say Sanford throws 5, and you got one more guy that's throw him for an inning there. But Sanford and guys like that are really putting the bullpen in a position to do well. So I think, to second what you're saying, bullpens are doing really well this year because of how fresh they are.
Well,
and how deep the starters are getting.
You talk to some of these guys, 4, 5, 6 great sustained starts deep, and it can maybe sometimes be hard to be like, oh, so-and-so has thrown 11 really quality innings or whatever, and quantify that as like a name worth bringing up, but could be that ultimate decider is, like you said, so-and-so is going to go 4 or 5. Peyton Rogers is going to go 5, but then Torrey's ability to have 2 dudes come in and get the 6th and the 7th with no issue. Like, there's some of those where maybe as we look at it next week, the deciding factor is going to be, oh, I actually like so-and-so more for this one because of X, Y, and Z guys who are a little bit further down. And to me, that's just insane. Is it we have talked about a full stop of the hitting, and just the pitching is so deep this year.
Yeah, and I think even more so with the relievers, we're going to see a double elimination format, and the way that these games have been this year with a lack of tons of runs and tons of hitting, we're going to see low scoring, possibly extra inning games. So even more so, you can't just run your starter out there for 9 innings because he feels fresh. Like, he hits his pitch count, he's going to be out. So you got to have those guys that maybe you have to cover an 8th and 9th inning just to keep your season alive.
Dave, the full fist is sit. The full fist is sit.
You just gave me a high five.
Yeah, you're just asking for high fives. You're just asking for shake.
I was like, give me your balls so there's no squeaking for a sec.
Of course, she finds
and she was giving me like high five.
Yes. Okay. And she even switched hands a little bit there too. She was like, you want more 5s? Okay, this is usually about the sign that the show has devolved. Is there anything left? We have 1 week of the season. We have 10 days. I think that we've kind of there's no major changes, it seemed like, to any of the divisions in the last couple of weeks.
No, just a lot of jockeying.
I think the one thing I'd mention is, for so long we looked at Division 2 and it was that Santa Fe Christian Bonita Vista race. Well, Point Loma, playing in a league with all these Division 1 teams, they've got some wins. Now suddenly Point Loma's the 1 seed in Division 2.
Yeah, their numbers.
So that's the biggest change.
They've kind of popped up, and if they can get a couple more, and Santa Fe Bonita, they're still 2 and 3. They haven't fallen off, but it's that Division 2 race we've talked about for a while, because it's deep as you go down there. You've got a Westview team that's good, a Madison team that's been challenged against a lot of teams, Scripps Ranch, Coronado's got all these arms, and right now they're the last team in. So that Division 2 race will be a lot of fun.
Okay, so we're going to pay a little bit closer attention to D2 this week. But other than that, I think we can plan on a week from now, we will come back and
some teams will be done, because I know next week some will play 3, some will play 1, somewhere in between. So
I get the sense that next week's podcast will take a really good stab at doing the playoffs. Yeah. And to do that right now would push us over the half-hour limit that my mom obviously has already stopped watching, so I don't think anyone else is going to be watching. But, hey, I will say this. Unless you guys have anything else to object to get out this week, we will say go download the SBLive Sports app. Visit DR Player Development. Make sure you get everything from Dave hitting-wise that you need. Thank goodness, no words. No, well, that dog is all noise.
That ball is dirty now, bro.
Yeah.
You brought in a dirty ball.
You got to scuff it up a little bit. That's how she goes, okay, Dave, I brought you
a little two-seamer now, huh?
Mud.
No pearls. Yeah, no pearls. No pearls in this house.
Drooling. Good session. Good. Another great podcast, boys.
Another great podcast.